Alright guys, I hope you're all doing well, and welcome to this community showdown. It's going to be the Tomb Kings led by Renegade Moose and Kotzep facing off against Nurgle, who shall be helmed by Pentium, and it looks like it's going to be Festus. No surprise, coming in with the double Exalted Champion. Very, very powerful characters, basically mini legendary lords on a stick. Very good at hunting monsters and dealing with pretty much any threat that lies before them. Now, for the Tomb Kings build, it is going to be a front line of skeleton warriors and spears, and obviously you can see a lot of money invested in constructs, so obviously the front line is going to be a little bit chaff-centric. So yeah, I love it. So we got the double Necrotect. These bad boys do have the Restore ability, which is a pretty big heal. It's almost a 20% HP heal on these big monsters, so something like the Sphinx, which certainly needs a cost reduction, is going to benefit pretty heavily from this, right? 20% of that, it's going to be like 1500 HP, give or take. I think it's a little bit less. Let's see what the actual numbers are. So 0.80 for 24 seconds. Yeah, so it's somewhere in that ballpark. We got Skeleton Spears in the back, double Ushopti. Ushopti are pretty good at just grinding against things like Chaos Warriors, and you stack them on top of your spears, and you have a nice little combo, right? Because oftentimes Warriors of Chaos are going to want to counter your Ushopti with, let's say, well, okay, this is Nurgle actually, so it's different, but even against Warriors of Chaos, you could see Skeletons stacked with Ushopti, especially the Spear variant. It's really nice, because Chaos might send in like Armored Chaos Trolls, and the Spears will help poke them, while the Ushopti can deal with the infantry below. Kotzep in the back, going to be cackling on his DJ booth. Nope, he's going to be on horseback, fairly standard, and it looks like he's going to be rocking the cheap spell spam. So just using the Jaff's Cursed Blade, and this is nice on Ushopti. If you overcast it, it can give him bonus versus large, or you just cast it on the big Sphinx when he's dueling something, and he's going to be able to karate chop pretty hard. And that's pretty much it for the Tomb King starting army. And now for the forces of Nurgle, the Plague God's mighty champion over here, is going to be having a pretty heavy metal army. So Chaos Warriors with Demon Spew. We have double Exalted Heroes of Nurgle, which are extremely meta now, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. If Nurgle, honestly, if Nurgle gets some really good stuff in the upcoming, content patches and stuff, man, you're gonna see him pop off, I think, for sure. They're like close to being good, but they're just missing a couple kind of core elements on their roster. I'm curious about the Pestigore as well. The Pestigore will probably just be like a great weapon, like Gore type unit. I don't know if they really need that, but we'll see. So that's pretty much it. Yeah, just Warriors Forsaken. A couple Chaos Warriors going to be heading to the outside objective towards objective number 3. And it looks like there is going to be a Royal Rumble on objective 2. Basically, what this game is going to be, it's going to be the big Sphinx getting healed and battling the Nurgle champions. That is basically it. And one of the main reasons why Nurgle players rely on the Exalted Heroes is because of the fact they don't really have they don't really have good anti-large options. You have the throwing axes like Beasts of Nurgle. Great Unclean Ones kind of suck. The basic variant, the Exalted one is good, the Lord version, but the basic one isn't very good. So you kind of just have to rely on these great weapon dudes on horseback to get in there and grind things down. Side objective taken by the Tomb Kings. Nice usage of the Skeleton Horseman Archers, and they're not bad against Nurgle. They can poke and do a little bit of damage against like Plague Toads, which inevitably probably will come out. At least Barons of the Bog. Who knows? No, man, the Kid Rock Barons of the Bog, it just gets me every time. 2 Chaos Warriors over there. Quite a bit of resources. Honestly, if I were the Chaos player, I'd probably send 1 Chaos Warrior over to the middle if you're looking to push that. Probably just leaving 1, 800 gold unit here is going to be more than enough. Now, in the meantime, Chaos Fury is going to be circling overhead, looking for something, maybe doing a little bit of scouting, wanting to pop into the trees to see what the Tomb King's army is made of, and we can do some fast forwarding while the 2 armies posture and kind of fight for a position here. Some Poison Hounds in the fringe, looking like they wanted to get in and take the objective there, but they were countered by some Horsemen, and it looks like the Furies are basically just going to get wrecked here. Wavering already. Skeleton Horseman Archer is able to keep them honest, but yeah, Tomb Kings have a fairly comfortable position, but it looks like Pentium here is wanting to build up a big critical mass force, saving up for something really big. Currently, we have 3,200 supplies against 29. It's like a good old standoff. Both players waiting to see what the other one's going to be calling in, and now look at that. We get a huge Zerg, so he just calls in the massive horde of Forsaken. I love it. That's very flavorful. And Forsaken are excellent at killing, things like skeletons, but they'll struggle against Ushopti-type units. So mainline fighting is now underway, and here the Forsaken do collide with these skeletons. Forsaken, one of the cooler looking units in the game, certainly pretty rad. And they're going to be butchering these skeletons, sending them back to their gods. That is for sure. You can see massive casualties on the far side. It looks like the Doggos were dealt with by these Skeleton Horseman Archers. And Kotzep's going to be getting attacked by Furies. A bit of a strange one. Won't really do much, and we are going to be seeing the Ushopti pile in and basically karate chop them. But the hordes of Nurgle infantry are here. And Festus is going to be rocking Stream, which is very good against skeletons, as well as Fleshy, which is pretty much an auto-take if you're going to be using the Nurgle champions. Now, it looks like the Nurgle champions had their sights set on this character, the Necrotect. Yeah, they're going to be going after that bad boy. But the big Sphinx is going to be coming in to protect the Tomy. And the Sphinx does have an anti-large bonus. Missing its first attack, though, certainly not the best starts for it. And the Tomb King's front line is starting to crumble on a couple fronts. We do see the Skeleton Spears faltering over here. Chaos Warriors of Nurgle will inevitably get these Skeleton Spears down. It's only a matter of time. And now we got Tomb Guard call out. So in response to the big infantry swarm, looks like the Tomb Kings are going to be spamming out a fair amount of their own good quality infantry to make sure they don't get folded too quickly. But Nurgle does get that point with an absolute vengeance. And we do continue to have this duel here as the two champions try and kill the Necrotect, trying to get rid of the healing before they go for the big target. Certainly not a bad idea. It's an easier thing to kill, right? And here it looks like there's going to be a Fleshy Abundance already. Interesting one. So Fleshy Abundance goes down. It does hit the Exalted Hero Festus and also the Forsaken back here, so not bad. Probably a little bit early. Overcasted Fleshy Abundance is extremely expensive, so using it that early on when they weren't that damaged, probably not the best. But yeah, you see what I'm saying about these champs? I mean, they are giving the Sphinx the absolute dirty. This guy's getting wrecked. And, you know, this is a 2,300 gold monster, if I'm not mistaken. And these champions are, I think, like 11 or 1,200 with the current kit they brought. So yeah, very cost-effective here. On the other side, it looks like the Warriors of Chaos good quality infantry is holding and breaking through the Skeleton Spears. Nice little surround here. Some Skeleton Horsemen rear charging the Chaos Warriors, but it's kind of like that scene when you guys remember I think it was called the Watchman with Rorschach. He's like, "You're trapped in here with me." These Chaos Warriors out there shaken, they're going to be happy to fight from two directions. Since they're fighting very low quality units, they are going to butcher both these units and not really take too many casualties in the process. Oh, is that a new Shopti summon being used as a block? If that timing is correct, that's super gnarly. Okay, it looks like it was a little bit off, but it still does trap up a lot of the Chaos Knights of Nurgle. I love to see it, Chaos Knights of Nurgle piling in here. The Shopti summon actually did trap up a lot of these big boys, so that was a really cool play by Renegade Muse. And not easy to do. The timing of that, I think it's like a 10-second summon or something like that. You know, it's hard, and he actually was able to catch a couple of those Chaos Knights, which are all trapped back here, and really screwed that up. Now, in the backfield, one of the Exalted Heroes of Nurgle did overextend, and I'm sure the Tomb Kings are quite happy for this. The hero trapped, trying to use his big, thick Nurgle mass to get away here, but the Sphinx is going to be able to connect with some solid attacks. Stream of Corruption Confestus going down on the stacked units of Tomb Guard, and the Tomb Guard have now engaged against these Chaos Warriors, which they might be able to help out. But like I said, the Chaos Warriors did win that fight versus Skeletons and also killed the Horsemen in the process. Super cost effective. And when you're fighting against the undead, like there's crumbling damage that's going down, which isn't accounted for in the value. It doesn't show, right? And that's damage that's being done to the opponent's army. So, you know, take it with a grain of salt when you're playing against like demon factions and factions that, you know, of course, do have that crumbling mechanic. Looking around here, the battle rage is on in the center. Value's very close. Festus, of course, providing his sweet healing auras. And the Tomb Kings also heal a lot, right? You have the Realm of Souls, which every time it procs, it heals your entire army for, what, 2% of its HP, which is pretty substantial on a Tomb Guard unit. That's like 200-300 HP per unit. And Kotep is also going to be getting the Restless Dead, which is going to be healing up the entire army. And Restores, too, are also going down. You can see the Sphinx is approaching its healing cap. Chaos, though, has lost the middle objective. The arrival of the Tomb Guard and the Nehekar Warriors have been able to turn it around. And here we do see old Festus and his hero squad really bullying everything they come into contact with. Side objective being held. And again, I think it was a pretty big mistake here to not send in the Chaos Warriors of Nurgle and have those bad boys just charge the middle. You know, that would have been really helpful to have another warrior here to help hold on to the objective against the onslaught. In the backfield, Furies called in, so Furies are going to be diving on the Casket of Souls, but Casket of Souls and single entity artillery are good for a couple of reasons, but one of the main reasons is there's no crew to be killed, so it's very easy to defend them and much harder to take them down. So these Chaos Furies probably going to be taken out by, I would imagine, some of these Tomb Guard here. And now we get Eyes of the Desert coming out. Not a bad choice. The Snake Halberds will be very, very good against the Nurgle Warriors. Not Nurgle Warriors, but the guys on horses. So with their halberds and also have laser beams they shoot, which could be nice against the Chaos Knights. Chaos Knights getting a little bit beat up here, and I like the Chaos Knight pick. I think it's fun. I think they were used a little bit, it was a bit of a heavy-handed engagement, just going right into the middle like that. More so working on the flanks and like collapsing weaker formations and that sort of thing. Preying on the weak is what Chaos Knights are very, very good at. So Necrotect here, still getting hunted. Harbinger of Pestilence is down, so Festus is on his DPS. Or hell yeah, baby, sign me up. Another Chaos Knight unit's coming in. But the prevalence of anti-large here, yeah, the big Sphinx as well as Sepulchral Stalker is going to give those Chaos Knights a big problem, and Nurgle is probably going to regret calling them in. But as far as like grinding with like Tomb Guard and Skeleton type units, yeah, Chaos Knights are awesome. Forsaken probably need to be unsummoned. Chaos Warriors moving over from the middle. This game was played a couple days ago, but he has heard me from the past. He has heard the advice on the Chaos Warriors. Now they're going to be moving to the middle to try and reinforce, because Festus and that Goon Squad are no joke, but the very healthy Chaos Knights moving in, losing models pretty quickly and doing very little damage against the Sphinx. The two Nurgle champions are still trying to kill this Necrotect, and he's like hiding between the trees with his whip. Look at him. It's like a horror movie. It's like The Shining. He's like sitting back there. He's like, oh no, don't let him in. And then they got in. So the Nurgle champions probably will be able to drain down this Necrotect here. Not even drain him, but karate chop into oblivion. And the Chaos Knights are now being shot by laser beams. So very good play here by Renegade Moose. getting that big value on those juicy Chaos Knights. As more Forsaken are being called in, looks like a little bit of a faltering on the order. And honestly, Nurgle could do some split pushing here with the Forsaken. Like, send them over here, because the response of Tomb Kings would probably be Horsemen and or, Nehekar Horsemen, and Forsaken will kill both of those units very easily. So I would have liked to have seen the Chaos Knights maybe go over there and try and take that side objective rather than charging into these Halberd units, which is going to be very brutal for them. So yeah, you can see they get in there, they take heavy casualties. The Nurgle Goon Squad doing well, but you can see Festus is now getting the business a little bit. This big boy does hit hard, and even though he is anti-large, he can still do decent against these type of targets. Casket of Souls doing an excellent job melting troopers. And for the not first time in the game, but I would say it's really starting to look decisive for the old Renegade Moose here. It's looking like he's ahead. Festus is going to be routed into the Shadow Realm, and the two Exalted Chads of Nurgle trying their best. I love the use of Forsaken, though. They're so cool. And against Tomb Kings, that can do good. You got to watch out for the Ushabti, though. Those Ushabti can do some heavy damage. And yeah, Tomb Kings are just such a cool faction. I'm really excited to see that the Tomb Kings and Bretonnia are going to be like the two big launch factions for the old world. So pretty neat indeed. Now, as far as Objective 2 goes, held by Tomb Kings, Nurgle looking like they're pretty much dead in the water. Side objectives being Ninja, and this is some good play, parking two Horsemen to outmaneuver these Chaos Warriors. Chaos could respond with some Hound units if they wanted to. Furies will also do the tricks, and so the Furies are going to come in and chase them down, but at the end of the day, there's just too much of a value lead, right? We see the Tomb Kings here. Oh, a little bit of a cheekiness on the side. A Skeleton Horseman call out. I don't know if they're going to make it in time, but this is going to be tough. All three objectives are under heavy pressure here. These Furies actually get killed by the two Horseman units, or at least are probably going to be crumbling here in a second. Chaos Warriors trying to saturate in and get that, but the middle objective really rock solid here for the Tomb Kings. And looking over here in the middle, yeah, we have the two Exalted Warriors, but they're just Exalted Champions. I always call them the wrong thing, Exalted Heroes. I don't know what it is. But yeah, they're going to have some problems here and probably won't have enough milk to get that one back. So side objective is held onto by Nurgle, most likely. Ooh, it's going to be kind of tight, actually. Looks like that one might flip to the Tomb Kings. And the side one does get captured by the Hounds, but Renegade Moose is pretty well ahead on value, so he's going to be able to spare some, expendable units here and just grab this objective back. So this one's going to go back to the Tomb Kings. And yeah, Nurgle might not know it's over. I mean, even if Nurgle does find a way to flip the middle, they're going to lose the side one, and it's going to be hard. Yeah, Nurgle does have a lot of healing, but look how many Tomb Kings units are here. Tomb Guard, Skeleton Warriors, the old Furies going after Kotep once again. A nice stream of corruption from our Nurgle champion. That was a good one. Hit both units there, but yeah, there's just not going to be enough. Those two champs and a couple of Nurglings, the Frolickers Bubonic. I believe they have damage reflection. Yeah, they're a pretty cool unit. Damage reflection is a stat I'm not terribly familiar with. I should probably take a peek and really do some testing with it. But here we do see the Casket of Souls getting a nice bombard onto those units. Side objective is going to be taken back by the Tomb Kings here, and this objective is ninja'd, and the Chaos Warriors are having trouble keeping up with these mobile units here. Chaos Warhounds would have been better to send than Furies. They would have been able to stand under the Chaos Warriors and maintain the capture weight and pretty much diminish that entire skirmishing effort. But objective number 2 here looks like a little bit of a danger of the flip as Festus is wearing down quite a few units, but more Tomb Guard are coming in. We are approaching 1,300 points. This one is going to be flipping back to the Tomb Kings here in just a second. And Nurgle swarming in, man. I love this. I got to give a shout out to Pentium here. The prevalence of these Chaos Knights is so cool. And yeah, it looks like the Tomb Kings are cackling on this objective. Chaos Knight's going to be coming over to the side. Something that should have been done a little bit earlier. If those bad boys had been able to come over and maybe ninja that objective sooner. The game's getting a little bit closer now with Nurgle healing. You can see there's some ebbing and flowing on the objectives, but he probably realizes it's over and there isn't enough time to catch up, especially for a faction like Nurgle. So GG, well played. It was a really fun match. Cool seeing the big SPHINX battling against the two exalted heroes of Nurgle. Got it right for once. I had to cheat and mouse over the tooltip to make sure, but 2,429, I mean, they're such a carry on the Nurgle roster. Festus is great as always. The Chaos Knights might have cost him the game. Those are big investments, and I think if you just swarmed all the objectives with infantry, or maybe use the Chaos Knights differently on the side objectives, I'd love it. They're one of the coolest units, but the way that they were kind of executed, charging into the middle where the Tomb Kings had answers, certainly wasn't the best. But GG, well played to both those mighty champions. We'll see you on the other side. Take care of yourselves, my friends, and that's it for tonight.